Needless to say, heading into Thanksgiving Day, I had very, very, very low standards and expectations for this Bears team. This was going to be the second time in 11 days they had faced the Detroit Lions. This is going to be the end of a 3-week stretch where they played 3 straight divisional games, coming off of an incredibly short turnaround to this early Thanksgiving Day game, having been flexed into that primetime slot on Sunday night against the Vikings. Like that 3-game stretch of 3 straight divisional opponents. You're looking at it and you say, if the Bears go 2-1, you still feel pretty good about things. They go 2-1, that's reasonable to expect. 2-1 still keeps them in first. 2-1, and you're sitting there looking at a team at 7-4 with 5 weeks to go, staring down the barrel of 10 or 11 wins, playoff appearance likely, divisional crown possible. And especially once you find out that Trubisky's not going to play on Thursday, you've got only 3 days for all practicality to get Chase Daniel ready to be the starter on a national standalone game. All of these things staring down the barrel of the Bears. And they went up into Detroit on Thursday and they beat the Lions. Lions season is officially over. This win could represent something really big for the Chicago Bears, and I cannot emphasize enough how impressed I am by this Bears team for being able to win 3 divisional games like this back to back to back in a 12-game stretch. The last time I remember something somewhat similar in Bears history, I think you have to go back to like 1993, where the Bears won 3 games under Wannstedt in his first year in an 11-game stretch, or 11-day stretch. That's how far back we're going. 25 years ago. In the midst of a 7-9 season, the Bears won a Thursday night game, or a Monday night game, Sunday, and they came back on Thanksgiving and won. Difference being this time, the Bears were actually really good. And this is exactly the type of game that a good team has to find a way to win. A game with a backup quarterback facing a divisional opponent for the second time in 2 weeks, in their place, Thanksgiving, incredibly short turnaround. All of these things are pointing to it's okay for the Bears to lose this game. All of these things saying the Bears probably can and should lose this game. And lo and behold, they didn't. They won this game. Cannot tell you how pleased I am right now. I'm trying, but it just can't help how over the moon I am right now. Now, part of this, granted, is as a Bears fan in my adult life specifically, there aren't a lot of highlights. There aren't a lot of good seasons. So when that rare one comes across, it catches me completely off guard. It blindsides me and smacks me right across the face. Can't contain my excitement here. But I need to try. Because 3 straight divisional wins in a 12-day stretch or whatever the hell it was does not a season make. It's nice. It's great. But when you look at this Bears team, there are still things actually concerning you. Chase Daniel, I thought, was very good. On short notice, with short week of preparation, he went out there and did his job. Now, you're going to have those clowns, sure, that we'll talk about, we noticed this big significant difference in the offense without Trubisky in there. Yeah, Daniel's not going to run like Trubisky. True. Sometimes that's good for Mitch, yes. Sometimes that's bad for Mitch in the offense, also, yes. What you also didn't get out of Chase Daniel was 1 or 2 really, really terrible, horrible interceptions like Trubisky has been prone to do throughout the course of 2018. This guy went in there in his first start in several years in the National Football League on a short week's rest on the road in a standalone Thanksgiving game and led his team to victory and made some nice throws and nice plays in the process. To sit there and say that this Bears team is so magnificently better on offense with Trubisky compared to Daniel, what the hell are you smoking? That doesn't mean that you roll with Chase Daniel the rest of the way. No. Maybe to play it safe with Trubisky next week with all that time to rest heading into New York to take on the Giants, maybe you think about starting Daniel. And if it goes well, you stay with him the rest of the game. And if not, then you bring in Trubisky out of the bullpen in the second half. You don't want to ruin the kid. You don't want to get the kid hurt. and then have to sit there and think about potentially going with Chase Daniel over a long stretch of period of time. But I thought he did just fine, in spite of the ridiculousness of the play calling of Matt Nagy and that Bears offense. Between Jordan Howard and Tariq Cohen, you found a way to run the ball 10 damn times between the two of them. Let me emphasize that again. A team with a really, really good 1-2 punch at running back, one of the best combinations in the league. And you decide the best way to implement an offensive strategy on short turnaround with a backup quarterback who hasn't played for you this year is to try and bounce away and throw the ball like 37 damn times. Especially when you don't need to. Especially when you're in the game. Especially when you have a legitimate chance to win. You're playing a close battle. There's no reason to get so one-sided, so heavy-handed in the passing game, utilizing Chase Daniel's damn sidearm until it fucking falls off. Just absolutely none. The regression of the Bears' running game in 2018 is a significant concern, especially as you get ready for the playoffs. All the gimmicks and all the tricks doesn't change the fact that this team needs to be able to run the ball between the damn tackles. And how silly does it seem that sometimes that they seem more fascinated with running Tariq Cohen up the middle and Jordan Howard outside? We got this shit all backwards here. And as far as the defense, this team won the turnover battle. It's nice when your offense doesn't turn the ball over at all, and you get a couple of interceptions in the fourth quarter. Eddie Jackson's pick six, c'est magnifique. What a masterpiece. Stack Padford never saw him coming. Eddie Jackson looked like he was the receiver running the route. That's how great his anticipation was. And then towards the end of the game, the Lions are driving. They got a chance to tie it. Michael Roberts completely foobars his route. Kyle Fuller makes the play, interception. And now we get the Bears sing anything. Sweet Jesus, hallelujah. On Massacre Day, I won't say the Bears massacred the Lions, but with all the things blowing against them, all of the things that indicated that this team had every right to lose this game, they did what a really good team does. They won a game they had every business losing. You still have to be concerned about the lack of consistent running game, and that is a concern, a major concern. You also have to be concerned about this Bears defense, has given up the most points in the fourth quarter in the league this year. Late in the game again, they started to wear down. I don't know if it's a conditioning thing. I don't know if it's a poor job of rotating talent in and out throughout the course of the game. Or maybe it comes back to the lack of freaking running game. But that's another conversation for another time. The Bears went up there with all these adverse headwinds blowing right at them. And they got the damn job done. The Bears are 8-3. And it feels pretty comfortable to say they're going to be the NFC North champs.